If you're a facility manager, you already know that Legionella compliance isn't just a box to check. It's a huge responsibility. But let's be honest, proving that you're compliant often feels like this constant uphill battle with mountains of paper. Well, today, we're going to look at a way to change that for good.
So I want you to think about your current system for a second. That binder on the shelf or that spreadsheet, is it truly ready for an audit at a moment's notice? Or is it a source of stress, kind of the weakest link in your entire compliance chain? That's the core problem we're here to talk about today.
Here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the compliance problem itself. Then we'll look at the surprisingly high cost of doing all this manually. After that, we'll dive into the Safely platform, see how it all connects, and show you what your new reality could look like.
Okay, so to really understand the solution, first we have to agree on the problem, right? What are we actually required to do for Legionella control? And why is it so darn tough?
At its absolute core, it really just comes down to temperature. See, Legionella bacteria love lukewarm water. That's their sweet spot, somewhere between 20 and 45 degrees Celsius. So the entire goal, the whole game, is to keep your water systems out of that danger zone. Sounds simple, right? Well, it's the doing it that gets complicated.
And this is really the heart of the challenge. It is not enough to just do the work. You have to prove you did it. An auditor isn't just going to ask, hey, did you check the temps? No, they want to see the records, the plan, who's responsible, and, this is the big one, what you did when something went wrong. This whole evidence of control thing creates a massive, massive paper trail.
And that paper trail, that burden, has a very real cost. So let's actually put some numbers to the pain of sticking with the old-school manual way of doing things.
5 minutes. Now that might not sound like a lot, but think about what that actually involves. It's the time it takes to walk to the outlet, run the water for maybe a minute or two to get a good reading, take the measurement, and then go back and scribble it down in the logbook. It adds up fast.
Now take that 5 minutes and multiply it across, say, dozens or even hundreds of outlets every single month. For a big site, you are easily looking at 144 hours a year. That is almost 4 full work weeks just spent walking the halls with a thermometer.
And of course, time is money. That time sink translates directly into thousands of pounds in labor costs, money that's often not even budgeted for, just to keep a paper trail that might not even be perfect.
And those numbers, that's a best-case scenario. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Access friction is the hidden killer. What does that mean? It means things like occupied hotel rooms, locked plant rooms, or maybe sterile areas in a clinic. All these things cause delays and make the whole process even more expensive and likely to fail.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem. We see the high costs of the old way. Now let's talk about the solution. It's time to move away from that manual grind and into a world of automated, smart control.
And this is Safely. It's designed from the ground up to be that one single source of truth for all your compliance and operational needs. It brings everything together into one easy-to-use platform.
But how does it all actually work? Let's take a quick tour of what your new automated workflow could look like and see how each part of the Safely platform solves a piece of that Legionella puzzle.
It all starts with the data, but instead of you chasing it down, Safely brings it to you automatically. You get 24/7 readings from sensors right on your main pipes. And for those spot checks you still need to do, a Bluetooth probe sends a perfect, time-stamped reading straight to the platform. No more clipboards, no more guesswork.
Now here's where it gets really powerful. The second a sensor detects a problem, like a cold water line starting to get too warm, it doesn't just write it down. It automatically triggers an alert and creates a corrective action task right in the system, and even assigns it to the right person. The whole loop is closed, instantly.
But creating a task, that's only half the story, right? For real compliance, for that audit-proof record, you need evidence that the job was actually finished and finished correctly.
This is where Safely's digital forms come in. Think of them as the complete replacement for that old paper logbook. When an engineer finishes a job, they fill out a quick form on their phone. They can even snap a photo, add notes, and sign it, giving you undeniable proof of work. No more missing information.
And get this, getting started is super simple. Safely has a smart AI assistant, we call it Albert, that can actually take your existing documents, like your risk assessment, and automatically build the digital checklists you need. It turns your static plans into live trackable work. So all of this, the live sensor data, the automated tasks, the submitted forms, your documents, it all flows together right here on the main dashboard. It becomes your command center. You can see in a single glance exactly what needs your attention. No more hunting through binders. So what does this all add up to? Well, it's not just a small improvement. It's a complete transformation of what your day-to-day compliance reality looks like.
Just look at the difference here. Without Safely, you're paying people for walking, waiting, and fighting for access. You're losing time to messy logbooks, and you're always worried about a missed check creating a huge compliance gap. But with Safely, that all changes. Automation frees up your team to do their actual jobs. You get perfect, clean records every single time. The system makes sure nothing is ever missed, and you go from having no data to having trend data that lets you find and fix problems before they even start. That audit panic, it's gone. Replaced by confidence, because your reports are always just one click away.
So I'll leave you with this question. Your logbook is your legal evidence. It's your proof of control. Right now, this very minute, is it truly ready to stand up to an inspection?